You're tuning in to the Beards and Gears Podcast, the ultimate show for relevant automotive and motorcycle culture, and of course, for the beard aficionados. Whether you're fastening your helmet or settling in for a comfortable listen, prepare for an exhilarating journey. Introducing your hosts, Riker Montgomery and Aaron Alexander.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is Beards and Gears, and today this is a segment called Garage Talk, where we bring on friends and family. We talk really anything automotive, talk about life, BS a little bit, and today we've got a really close, good friend of ours, Kenny Hobart. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate you coming out.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, let's jump right into it. How's everything, man?
Everything's good. Actually, really good. Yeah.
Tell these people what you ride, man, because I'm sure they're going to care a lot about that.
It's a 2008 Dynas Super Glide.
You rode it here today.
Yes, it was nice.
You said it was too hot, huh?
Yeah, I was starting to get the undercarriage sweat, so yeah, it was a little warm.
It's the best.
You got a little nut sweat going on there?
Yeah, dude, it was starting to happen. It was on the cusp.
I want to hear about your invention. Or do you want to talk about that on the podcast? Because maybe somebody may steal that idea from you, to be honest with you.
Which invention?
Oh, I remember that one.
The nut cooler invention, dude.
Oh.
Because I feel like people can relate to that.
Yeah, I was just kind of coming up with some kind of design to force some kind of air into the Goochel region.
the Goochel region.
The Goochel region, yeah.
That's the name of the product. Dude.
Yeah, because I always find out that whenever I'm riding, however hot it is, there's like a river that goes from the area of my back down to my butt crack and straight into that little cavity.
So it was gonna scoop up air and force air in through the seat, or how were you thinking?
Somehow I was coming up with a couple different designs about some kind of perforated seat or whatever the case is, and some kind of hose that would basically take the air from where the lowers would block, and then kind of push it through all those perforated holes and kind of just air it out. Kind of like how the AC seats work in cars now. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, because if it's hot outside, it's like doing hot breath on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And how is the temperature from the motor going to affect? Is it going to heat the wind up even more when it gets?
But here's the thing: is I'd rather have hot air on my nuts than no air. You know what I mean?
That is true.
So
that is true.
It could work, dude. It could work.
I guess that is true, because when you have any type of airflow, it's better than none. Just like when you're sitting at a red light,
right?
And it's like you're dying, and you feel the heat way
creeping
more.
Yeah, creeping up. And I was thinking probably during this winter or whatever the case is, it's been blistering hot to even go outside and stay in the garage. Right. So I haven't even been able to come up with anything sitting in the garage, So I'm like, well, now that it's cooling down, I can probably put some stuff together, put it on the bike. I'm going to have to test it in pretty cold weather. So
I feel like you're the guy to do that, though, bro. Like, you can... For people that don't know Kenny, he can MacGyver some shit together.
Yeah. For sure.
And he's like the dude that I call whenever I broke a head off a bolt, or I can't get something out, because he always comes over and has. Yeah.
Hold on, wait a second. I've dealt with that before.
Yeah. So this is what needs to happen: is you need to come up with a test. Yeah. Beta. Prototype. There you go.
Yeah.
In your garage, dude. Hook it up to your bike.
I'm gonna probably look goofy, but
everywhere you go, you got to show everybody your nuts.
Yeah, so
make sure it's dry.
I'm not sweating.
No stains, no nothing.
No nut stains.
Nothing.
Dude, it'd be cool is if you even took it a step further and you had a vest that goes under gear or something that could
do the same thing. Yeah.
Well, they have cooling vests and stuff now, right?
I saw that BMW has something where it's like a full body AC suit where you plug it in. I don't know exactly how it works, but I feel like that's kind of a lot.
It's a little much, bro.
I don't know, man.
I'm not gonna throw on a full AC suit to go.
I would, dude. I'm fat.
Really,
dude? It's what 78 degrees, 80 degrees today.
Yeah, it's nice.
If I went and rode for an hour, I'd be.
Well,
I'd be hot.
Well, I could ride for 15 minutes and I'd be sweating, but
I sweat like a whore in church.
Do you? Yeah. It's not that I sweat a lot. Mm-hmm. It's that I just get hot. internally, you know, and I hate that feeling.
Dude, if I think too hard, I'll start sweating.
Me too.
Yeah. So so
same.
I mean,
I'm sweating right now.
I mean same.
It's kind of hot in here, dude. Honestly, like
You get an AC unit. over there.
hey, I have one in the camper, bro.
Do you?
Yeah, we could get. Yeah, I have like a portable one that like.
Does it hook up to a window or
Yeah,
just like
hooks up
sits
to
in
a
the
window.
corner of the
Oh,
room?
window
Yeah,
shaker?
it's like yeah, it hooks up through the window and blows.
Oh, that's cool. Like
We
one of
could
the
do
stand-up
that.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I was thinking about it, because I mean, I ride in 105 degree weather.
Yeah.
I ride all the time, and
Right.
it's not fun.
you're right.
And I try to wear shorts, which is, being a complete squid, but
Whatever.
yeah, it's, I'm like, at this point, even if I'm wearing jeans, like if I hit the ground, dude, it's going to shred. I'm going to be cooking like an egg on asphalt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I was like, what's
And-
the difference?
You're on a black bike, dude. Like you're on a black bike. For those that may not be from Texas, it's 120 degrees, like with humidity. You're on black pavement. You're in a bunch of traffic. It's like 140 degrees. Like
Yeah.
it's miserable.
Yeah.
I think they did a test on that. Some Dallas motorcycle cops,
Yeah.
they put like thermometers and temperature.
Oh, to
gauges.
see how hot it was.
Yeah, and it was something like 180 or something. It was
Really?
like an oven.
Yeah.
I know they've done that in the
Cool. Sorry.
in the
You're good.
back of it was either FedEx or UPS trucks that they were like tracking to see how hot it got, and it got like up there,
That's
like
dangerous.
up there for sure. I remember like when I was delivering out routes during the summers, sometimes it was, bro, horrible, like really, really bad.
You were in the best shape during that time, though.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I was running packages. Like I wouldn't just walk to the door. I was running to the door because you're paid per stop. So it was like, I'm gonna knock this out and be off
try it.
early.
As
Yeah.
much as you can.
But it's
My-
just miserable.
It's
Miserable.
brutal. My first job, actually, my introduction to Texas was a warehouse job, and there was no AC, and it was just starting. Like I moved here, I think, what was it? I moved here in April, got the job in June,
Yeah.
and I spent that
Yeah,
whole
prime time.
prime time. Dude. That's like right when the heat
That's horrible,
starts,
dude.
And they were clocking it in there. It was about 100, 125 in that warehouse.
You were in day shifts.
Day shifts, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a hefty boy, so I lost some weight.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Sweat out all the evil,
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, that was
Those
brutal.
heat strokes are no joke, though. Man.
Yeah, I had
No
a
joke.
couple.
Have you?
Yeah, it was brutal. Yeah.
What was that experience like? Like what?
The heat stroke?
Yeah.
I was kind of going in and out.
Yeah,
I felt like I was just like, I couldn't shake. I almost like I was shivering, but like
Yeah.
I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I was able to bounce back from that.
Yeah.
But
I had a similar thing happen on my bike 2 or 3 years ago. I was coming down 380, and it was middle of summer. I had my helmet on. They got a vest on. Middle of summer, and like I started getting lightheaded, dude, and like almost got cold, but like kind of got dizzy, and I pulled into a gas station and went into like their beer cooler and like just sat in there for 20 minutes and cooled down, So like like I don't ride in the summer, dude. Like that's here in Texas, there's like 2 months out of the year that's like a no-go for riding for me, at least. Like, some guys do, like yourself, but
no, it's because that's
Yeah.
pure stupidity.
yeah, I
Pure
just
stupidity.
Yeah.
I can't do it, man. Like there's just it takes the joy out of it for me. You know what I mean? Like it's not fun. It's not
Yeah,
fun.
it gets. I mean, I have to go really fast for it to feel.
Yeah.
like,
For you to get
any kind of. It's not even comfort at that point.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
kind of relief.
Well, it's like you're going fast, so it's fun, so you forget about how hot it is.
Yeah, yeah. That's
know what I mean?
basically what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. And then my adrenaline starts spiking. Because I'm being
Yeah.
stupid on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing, and then, but it's funny you talk about the beer cooler thing. So one of the things that we did have at that warehouse job is we had refrigerator trucks. So we'd go outside, we'd turn on the refrigerator in that truck, and it was an empty trailer, and then we'd go in there on lunch and play wiffle ball.
In the trailer?
Oh yeah, and our whole point was to nail each other with
Yeah.
that thing as hard as you can.
Wiffle ball is the one that you bounce off the wall, or is that?
No, it's just like
you play. It's like baseball, but it has holes in the ball.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, I don't want to
talk
shit about anybody that plays wiffle ball.
No,
it wasn't really my thing, but
Yeah.
I played, baseball as a kid. So I was like, well, cool, we'll hit, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I realized that the whole point was to like harm each other.
Yeah.
So then it
Do
was
as much
then
damage.
then it was fun. It's like, oh, inflict violence. All right, cool.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So tell us, I know this because we're close friends, but tell us like how you got into riding and like how you got, like, did you grow up around it? Was it like a part of your child? I know, well, we don't have to get in your childhood, but I know you had,
it's a dark
story. Yeah. I know you kind of, you had like ups and
dark.
downs in your childhood, like, but
Like we all do,
were motorcycles a part of that? Or?
So yes and no. It was mostly dirt bikes. I grew up
Yeah.
in Southern California, and
There it is.
yeah. Am I canceled? Is that what?
No,
Am I kicked out of fucking Texas
No,
now?
we keep you, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So we grew up in the desert, and it was just dirt bikes, shotguns. I mean, a lot of people have one vision of California, and yes, there's that area, but the
Right.
rest is a bunch of desert rat rednecks. And so I'd ride around. I actually had a really bad experience. We were in Moreno Valley, and it was probably about a 45-minute to 60-minute off-road to this these dirt bike jumps. And so it's really rocky out there. There's like no plant life. It's just rocks and dirt and heat and snakes and stuff. And
Sounds great.
Yeah, it was a great time. It goes for the best parties when you're out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's wild. But
Any police?
no,
Yeah.
no,
That's awesome.
they don't come out there. So I'm riding and we're hitting jumps, and my 3-year-old cousin, I don't know why, who let the fucking child out, is in my landing.
Okay.
Right? And she's kind of off to the side, so I'm like, oh shit. So I kind of like try to move myself in the air, and I hit on the side of the jump, hit the ground, snap my collarbone on the handlebars. Yeah, the thing flipped on top of me. It was just a cluster. I was like 12 years old. And then I didn't know what happened to me because it was just my arm didn't work. I was like floppy, and so I was like trying to get on the throttle and like use my arm to like hit the throttle. And so I get back to the truck, which we were probably about like a half a mile away. And I go out. I lose consciousness. I'm there with my family. We off-roaded out there, and then that was probably the worst pain in my life.
No
Like
shit.
I was tiny.
Yeah.
I found out later that it had snapped and was embedded in my lung. And it was wild. And I'm sitting in the back of the pickup truck because I can't sit up, so I'm laying flat, and we're off-roading.
Wow, dude.
Oh yeah, in the middle of the desert. Anyways, I get back. I had to wear this back brace for a really long time. I was a little nervous to get on bikes.
Yeah.
For a while, and I hit dirt bikes here and there. That's my pride and joy. It's probably why I have a Dyna right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Harley dirt bike. And I was sitting there, and I being a little bit older, I was married. Don't always recommend it. But
Facts.
yeah, but
I love my wife.
yes, she's awesome. But she never wanted me to get on a bike because she knew I have the danger side. I like a little bit of the adrenaline, a little bit of the junkie part,
Get that blood pumping.
Yes, and I just try to push it to the edge. So, anyways, removed wife from life,
Yeah.
and then decided to buy a motorcycle, and so
Yeah.
I bought one. I don't even remember how long ago it was, but I think within my first year, I put almost, what was it? I think we clocked in like 17,000 miles my first year.
Yeah.
So actually, it was like 15,000 within like 9 months.
Yeah. No, I remember you buying that bike. Well, so I won't give the full story about how we met, right? But I
don't care.
Well, I've had a bike since we met, right? And
Yeah.
I've always was like, when you getting a bike? When
Yep.
you getting a bike? When you
Yeah.
getting a bike? When you getting a bike? Finally bought one, and I remember you just were like over the fucking moon about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could tell that it was like you hit a goal, like in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's something you wanted for a long time. And you rode the shit out of it, dude.
Yeah.
Like
I burned through tires. I was just like,
I had never seen somebody ride that much, dude. And I mean, I think it's pretty normal. Like when you get a bike, like you,
Yeah.
for the first year, you're just like, it doesn't matter what the weather is, dude. You're ripping the hell out of it.
I was down to, I think I got down to 35 degrees. I would ride in.
Yeah. And I'm over here like, dude, chill out a little bit. Like, I may take my truck tonight, dude. You know, he's like, I'm riding, dude.
all right.
Like, okay, relax. Yeah.
That's me.
So no, that's cool. Are you happy with the Dyna? Like, is that?
Yeah, I mean, what do they say? You grow up and you get a performance bagger.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna keep my Dyna. I like throwing that thing over as much as I can whenever I'm hitting corners or whatever, and scraping pegs and hit my crash bar a lot, even while I'm leaning. I've bounced a couple times.
Yeah, that's a scary feeling.
Oh, dude, yeah, your butthole pucker's tight, bro. Like, yeah, that's how you know. But yeah, there's been a couple. I have scrape marks all over it, and from leaning in, I'm like, I'm not the best rider, of course, I know. I mean, of course, eventually, I want to lift that thing. You want a
bagger? Or?
Yeah, I want to get a performance bagger. I think I want to try to. I'm gonna get a dirt bike first.
Okay.
Because what I want to do is I want to start hitting that thing at 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Learn how to do it.
Yeah, I want to learn. I mean, I used to do wheelies, but it's a completely different story with the Harley, man.
Well, I feel like, Aaron, you could probably attest to this, but I feel like, because I grew up like riding stuff too, you know, we'd always wheelie four-wheelers or like, you know, dirt bikes or whatever. But like, if you're not doing that, maybe not daily, but if you're not doing it like regularly, you could probably still pull a wheelie up, but it's like
you're not going to be as confident.
You're not going to be as confident in it. You know what I mean? Especially like you said on a Harley. So
it's a skill you have to continue to sharpen.
That's kind of where I was going. So I would go like the Grom route if I wanted to get into like stunning, because there's like the aftermarket for that is like insane for stunt stuff.
I thought about getting a supermoto.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah,
because if I need to run.
You could take off through a field with that bitch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got crazy stories about my Uncle Jimmy doing that shit.
Really?
Because he didn't. Anytime he was always like a moto guy, and he went to the street, but it was supermotos only.
Yeah.
And he told me the only reason he did that is so that he could run from cops.
Yeah.
And he's told me so many stories about like running from the cops and that being a big advantage of having a supermoto over like something else that he could just like go through some houses, apartment complex.
Have you heard the story about when Aaron and I were in school and Jimmy came?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Tell the story, Aaron.
Okay, so my uncle had a CR250 at that point, and we were in middle school?
Yeah, middle school.
And he was like, "Hey, let me know when you're going from." The gym back in, because there was like two separate buildings. When you come out of the gym, there's like a big opening and parking lot you have to walk through to get into the middle school. He's like, let me know like around what time you're doing that, because I want to like ride the CR250 by. Like, okay, cool. It's like all the kids out there.
Yeah,
and it's our whole class, dude. We're like walking.
How old were you guys?
We were maybe 8th grade.
Yeah, 7th or 8th grade.
But like, it was from here to the end of the street, from the cafeteria to the middle school.
Yeah, so you had to like
walk. From the gym to the middle school, because I think middle school and high school shared a gym or something. Anyway, whatever. So so we're walking. Yeah,
and I hear it start up, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
You lived across the street. You didn't mention that.
I did live across the street. So there was like a little a divot. What would you call it? Like a little creek, but like no water in it.
Yeah, it's like a runoff trench.
Yeah. And so we were on the other side of that. He starts it up, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And then he starts coming. He comes down this way and is like flying past it, like doing wheelies and shit. And then all of a sudden, we look over and there's a fucking cop.
Oh no!
Flying after him, and then we just hear, bah, bah, bah.
Dude.
Yeah, and he just, and then he goes on the other side of the street. So like you've got a street right here, and then you've got the little alley. There's houses on both sides, and then there's another street here.
Yeah.
He comes he comes from over here to here. He's wheeling, and then the cop's chasing after him. He goes back across that little trench thing, and then goes flying back down. We see him come flying back, goes right into the garage, and the garage shuts.
Boom.
And then the cop just keeps driving by, and we're dying laughing
Dude,
the
it
whole
was
time.
so funny, dude.
And I remember getting home from school, and he was like, "Did you fucking see me?" He was just like freaking out. He was like, "Bro, the cop was chasing you." He was like, "I know." Like, why do you think I shut the garage so quick?
We would do that when we were because in Riverside and there was a bunch of orange groves out there,
Yeah.
so we'd have the dirt bikes and one of the areas that we were at was a bunch of ranches, but you'd hit some main roads over there and we'd be like 10, 15 kids on dirt bikes just being stupid.
Yeah.
Cops would come and we'd all split into different rows
Yeah.
of the orange groves and. Sometimes they'd be on four-wheelers. They'd have four-wheelers out there. Oh,
No
yeah.
shit.
Because we're out there. I mean, you're kind of out in
Yeah,
the
I guess
country.
that's true. Yeah.
And there's been times where, I don't know if I should say it on here, but there was an Air Force base out there that we got chased off of a couple times with some of the Humvees. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty sketch.
Big difference than cops coming after you.
Oh, yeah, because they don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Yeah, don't run from military. 'Cause,
No.
like,
Or go on
No,
their bases
no.
if you're
This
not
was when I was
authorized.
underage.
yeah,
under
yeah,
the
yeah,
age of 18.
yeah.
Make sure you're
Well,
authorized
you're-
to go on a military
You're
base.
you're past the 10 years of statute of limitations,
Yeah,
I think,
whatever.
or whatever that is.
is.
What's the? I think you.
I think
if you
it's
yeah.
I don't
Why,
know
why do
anything
you
else.
know that, dude?
no idea. I just heard it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sus.
Yeah. Well, like I'm the one that brought it up, and I'm like, why do you know that, dude?
We got a spot.
Yeah. I forgot who I was talking to the other day, but I said that, and they were like, "Oh, that's a thing." I was like, "Yeah, dude. I think if it's a felony, I think it's not, but I think if it's like a misdemeanor or something, like
Yeah.
after 10 years, you can't be."
For my defense, we didn't know that we were in.
Yeah.
We were just riding
Yeah,
dirt
yeah.
bikes, and then we got scared and ran.
Don't come after Kenny.
Yes, please don't.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny. Kenny's got the hardest tits in the game.
Dude, trying to keep them hard. Stay
Things are
hard.
rock solid. They cut glass.
I literally have to cut this out.
Really?
Well, I guess not.
No, man. Fuck this.
Okay. Well, hey guys,
Or, I
listen,
mean, yeah, you can cut
We're,
that part out. I can't say the F word.
we had to take a break. Work interrupted us. Work interrupted me. So sorry about that, guys. We're getting back into it. Not our full-time job yet, so there may be some interruptions. Friday afternoon podcast.
It is what it is.
Garage Talk. Welcome back to Beards and Gears.
Beards and gears.
All right, dude. So we talked about dirt cycles.
Them scooters.
We talked about dirt
Motor
scooters.
scooters?
them,
got the
yeah,
motor
them, them dirt cycles.
You told us you're from Cali, dude, and like typically I would just tell you to get the fuck out of my house, but I love you,
I would
and
tell myself. Yes.
we accept you,
Thank you.
and because I think you're probably more Texan than most.
I've seen that.
The guy goes to Buc-ee's every fucking day, so
Basically.
What's your hold on?
Yeah, go
What's
ahead,
your
go ahead.
favorite thing from Buc-ee's? What's your go-to?
Well,
Do you like walking around there, the atmosphere, how friendly they are? Do you like the coffee?
They've gotten
the
less
treats?
friendly.
Really?
Let's
Okay.
be honest. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't go there much.
I go in there and I get cold brew.
Okay.
I get cold brew coffee. So, because it's super dirt cheap. Do I need to keep talking?
yeah, go. You're good.
Okay.
Keep talking. I'm doing some audio stuff over here.
Okay, cool. So I get coffee. My daughter always wants to go. She wants to get an icy since it's been hot. But for the most part, we get the, what are those things? The pecans? Or peak? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Well, how do you Texans say it? The
Pecans.
pecans or something?
No, pecans. It's pecans.
Pecans.
Them
Got the
pecans.
pecans.
Yeah. No, they're pecans.
Yeah, the sugar cinnamon pecans. Yeah, those are really
Those are the best, dude.
Dude.
Like,
That's that smell.
and you
I mean,
can
to me-
smell them in the parking lot.
I know. If you buy anything from Buc-ee's,
Yeah, they smell
it smells
it.
like
Yeah,
that,
it's
know?
incredible.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're pumping.
I ate so much of that fudge once that I threw up everywhere.
Nice.
Really?
That's pretty good. That's actually talent right there.
With, for people that don't know, there's Buc-ee's like 5 miles down the street.
Something like that. Yeah.
Like, it's close.
Super close.
It's scary
dangerous.
close. Dangerously close.
I just had a brisket taco from them this morning.
This morning, see, he's there.
See, that's what I'm saying.
every day.
So he's more Texan than most. Just for the simple fact he goes to Buc-ee's every day. So why Texas, dude?
So a couple different things. I mean, I won't share a lot of them, but we at the time I was married, and we had a daughter, and I didn't want to raise her in the California school system.
Understandable.
And so her parents had moved to Texas, and at that time my mom just passed away, and we were like, well, you know what, let's get close to family, let's be close to people that that she wanted to be close to, and I didn't have a big family, so we were like, screw it, let's go. And so I quit my job. It was actually kind of terrible because I was a drug and alcohol counselor at the time,
Right.
And they said that I had reciprocity in Texas, but I found out that. And I thought that this was going to be great the whole time. I did all the paperwork necessary. I spoke with the Texas office. I did the whole thing. I get here and they're like, oh, and I had been doing it for 13 years. And I found out that my certification that I had in California was international, except for Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So they're like, you have to do another 1 year unpaid internship and another exam. I'm like, you can kiss.
What? Yeah. That's,
Every other state but Texas, or what?
Yeah. It was like one of the only states that requires a re-examination, and
No kidding.
which is good, at
Yeah.
the end of the day. I mean, they're just not letting anybody do that stuff, so I can understand some of that, but I went a different career path anyways.
Yeah. Which worked out for you.
Very much so. And I owned 2 businesses at the time, so I dissolved the businesses, wanted to get everything out of California, all connections gone, and so we moved out here to raise our daughter.
Yeah.
I have since then removed wife from my life,
Yeah.
so which made it even better.
Daughter's still around though.
Of course, yeah.
She's incredible.
Yeah, she is a wild card. Bro.
She is a wild girl, but she's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, she is.
So how is the motorcycle culture different from here to California? And I know you rode dirt bikes, but like you didn't have much of a.
I did. So in
Yeah.
some of the neighborhoods, there was specific 1%ers that were around,
Yeah.
and everyone had their own headquarters and their own sections or
Yeah.
whatever. But out there, I mean, it's kind of it's very similar, right? And I've heard that Texas, California, and Florida are they're very similar in a lot of ways, because you
Yeah.
have your the street bike guys,
Sure.
and then you have. Harley has a bunch of, like, the Harley bros or Harley guys have a bunch of different sections, right?
Yeah.
And so you have the old crusties.
Right.
There's a lot more Dyna bros
Of
in
course.
California, right?
Yeah.
Because
That's kind of where it originated.
that's like the style. And I mean, like, I just was out in California visiting, and there was like, I don't even remember how many. I was sitting there on the beach. And I heard, and I looked back every time that I could look back.
Yeah.
And there was probably at least 50 times I looked back, and there was a Dyna
Really?
bro fucking
Ripping?
Yeah.
down PCH and stuff. So, so I guess it's kind of the same kind of mix, because you have the same stuff here.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to Florida, but from what I see,
Yeah.
it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
No, I feel like California and Texas have a huge motorcycle culture for whatever like subculture you're a part of. Like, there are some subcultures that definitely started out in Cali, like, and I may get torn up for this, but like the lowrider Vikla scene,
Vehicle scene is huge out there.
there's a, and I'll just say this for the people that are watching that are in that scene, there's an argument to be made. So, there's an argument to be made, Texas style, Cali style, but huge scene out there for that.
Mm-hmm.
We can have it if you want to have a discussion about this. Come on the podcast and let's talk about it.
Yeah, we welcome fighting and screaming.
Not fighting and screaming, having a debate.
Calm debate or
Calm
No.
debate.
Elevate that shit.
yeah,
Elevate.
yeah. We're gonna have a fucking standoff with a 1 bullet per pistol in this tiny room.
Yeah.
But definitely the Dyna scene is big out
Huge.
there. Yeah. You'll see stuff on social media all the time. Like, those guys are pushing the limits to, like, that scene and that culture, new bike builds, all that kind of stuff. So that's cool. You've got a Dyna. We've established that. What do you have done to it? Like, what's
Nothing crazy. I mean, I did some custom stuff for, I wanted bags,
yeah.
mostly because, this is Texas, so we carry.
Yeah.
And I didn't want the job that I have right now. You can't obviously take it in the building.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure it was locked up. So I needed hard bags.
Yeah.
And I ended up going with actually Viking bags. I wanted the old school police bags or whatever. very hard to find, and people want way too much money for some beat up old bags.
Mm-hmm.
What do they run now? Like
I mean, for originals,
yeah,
these people are trying to ask like $2,000 for
really?
some beat up bag. I'm like, relax, homie. Yeah.
How much different are they than the Vikings?
The Vikings are I think they're fiberglass or whatever.
Are they? Yeah.
Painted, paint match. They're okay. I had a lot of issues in the beginning and I had to send them back.
Yeah.
I won't buy them probably again.
Yeah.
But what I did is, and it was something that I was trying to. I didn't like the gap. A lot of the Dyna bros that I talked to, they're like, "Oh, keep the gap. It's cool." Yeah. No, it's not. It's not fucking cool.
I think it looks way cleaner when it's like how you did it.
Right,
It's
and what I did
sleek.
is I found, I think it was like a 2014 Road Glide.
Right.
Or touring style.
It's touring, yeah.
Yeah, it's touring style. What is that thing called?
Yeah, it's
like the bag hider, or
it's
like the
an insert for your. It's like
yeah, whatever.
I don't know what it's called, but it's the filler panel between the bags and the fender.
And the fender, yeah, and usually it will extend the fender down a little bit, I kind of went on a limb,
right,
and I bought it, and it fit the gap perfectly, and I had to do some minor modifications because obviously those things vibrate to all hell.
Right.
And so it was rubbing paint and it was doing some stuff. So I put some little spacers and stuff, and I broke my first one because it was flopping around. So I had to add some pegs in the back of the bag to hold it up.
Yeah.
But then I had to reinforce.
See, here's MacGyver again.
Yeah. So I had to reinforce the filler panel so it didn't crack. And I've had this one for probably about 7 or 8 months now.
Yeah.
And there's no cracks.
Looks
in it.
good.
Yeah, I did some.
I like those bags on that bike, dude. Like
it looks clean.
It looks
really
really
good.
clean.
It looks clean.
Like it looks
right?
really good.
And it doesn't look too like it doesn't look out of place is what I'm trying to say.
No,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Because
Like,
there's sometimes that people get bags and it's
looks
just
ridiculous.
like a bag. It's just like
Yeah, I've seen
you
some
can
dudes.
tell.
it's
you can tell.
too much. It's too big for the bike.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen some dudes put like touring bags
Yeah.
on Dynas, and I'm like,
Yeah, something's not right.
it's not right.
Yeah.
And they'll put like stretched bag. I'm like, come
Right.
on, dude.
Right.
Yeah, I need to chill out with that.
Yeah, and so like I like mine, and I made them as level as I could with the fender
Yeah.
on the back end and on the top end, and the way that I got the oversized bags,
Yeah.
to where I didn't get the ones with the shock cut out that I need for the Dyna. I paid my price for it because I got a little bit of rub on the where the shocks are.
Yeah.
But I figured what it was going to do is it was going to rub itself out. It was going to rub to the point where
It happens.
it happens.
Self clearing, dude.
Yeah, right. Self-clearing. And then I was like,
yeah.
once it's done, then I'll paint it.
Self-clearing. I
And
like that.
you can't even see it because of where the shocks sit. And I got the, what are they? The Legend Revo A's or whatever.
Yeah.
Super comfortable.
Yeah. Those are awesome shocks, man.
Dude, those things are amazing. And I don't know. I kind of want to do the front end, because it's once I did the shocks in the back. I mean, you could tell a huge difference. Yeah. And
You'll really be getting it around
I
corners
know
and stuff when you get
that's
to that
like
front
that's why I'm like kind of slowly doing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm already a dipshit now.
Yeah.
And so
And those
give you
front
that
ends
confidence.
aren't cheap, dude.
no, the front ends are sometimes more expensive than the actual back or the whole back end.
Yeah.
And I was looking at some of the legends. I was going back and forth. Everyone was trying to say the
Olins.
or whatever, and like there was a bunch of different ones.
Spend a
Dude.
bunch of money on those, but
Yeah, but I know that
that's the best.
actually I think we ended up talking to somebody. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, some guy was telling us that he's ran pretty much every. It's the
Direct Cycles.
Direct Cycle Parts guy we met out in Born Free last year.
That's right.
He was saying that he's ran every shock on his, but he's got a big bagger. But he said he's ran every shock on his bagger, and he said that
Legends.
the Legends are the best for what you're doing. Like,
'cause I travel a lot.
Yeah, for like long riding and stuff. But he was saying something about Olins is good for
Racing.
stunt or racing or like something like that. So,
I remember him saying that.
Yeah. Anyway, so
So talking about Born Free, are you planning to go this year?
Yep. Got my tickets. Got my wristbands. Getting ready to go.
Damn.
Excited.
What's your thoughts on it? Or what are you expecting from last year was their first time to do it? What are you expecting this year? Bigger?
Maybe in the beginning, because I remember like when we first showed up, we had to go sit in that freaking line. We had to go park the bikes.
yeah.
And then we got to go sit in line. It's like, we already bought our tickets. We already have everything we need. We already signed our waivers. We've already done everything. Why do we have to go stand in line? We had our wristbands. We had everything ready.
Do you think that was like a first time thing that they kinks they had to work through?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I don't remember exactly what they had to do, but I know that we had to scan some QR code.
Yeah, it was. You had to sign a waiver, I think.
Right.
You had to sign a waiver for and
and I'm sure they were learning.
I sent the owner a message after that, and I was like, hey, are you open to feedback on working on the event? I was like, this is something that's, people were standing in line for hours, dude.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It was
kind of
insane.
warm.
It was warm, and there was nowhere to park the bikes, dude.
I think at least should have like some sort of online waiver that you could sign and it submitted through your email.
Yeah,
or
they did
something.
it.
They did that this year.
Good.
Oh, did they? Okay, good.
I already have my waiver signed.
By the way, this podcast may come out after Born Free, so we'll have to have Kenny back on Garage Talk to talk about his experience. So
Absolutely.
We are recording this before Born Free as my dog is screaming at the door.
Yeah.
But last year's Born Free was amazing.
It was so fun. So the three of us went, as well as a couple other buddies.
That ride was so nice.
Dude, it was a really fun.
I still won't ever forget when we branched off and we're going through those back roads
And all the trees.
and the trees and the leaves were going down and we were just cruising.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was
very, very, very enjoyable.
That's
I vividly remember that part.
Yeah,
That's my
same.
favorite part. That's actually
We've all talked about that part separately to each other.
Yeah.
That it kind of felt like we were in a movie or something. It was like a surreal experience.
We were all in perfect formation.
Yeah.
And we were getting in. We weren't cruising.
Just to set the tone, the image for all the listeners, it was a backcountry road out in East Texas. So East Texas has a lot of big pine trees. So it was these massive pine trees that kind of overhung over the road,
almost crossed over.
Yeah. And it was fall, right? So the leaves were falling on the ground, different color leaves, right? It was really pretty, and we were just ripping through this backcountry road, and it was cool because temperature cool. It was cooler because it was in shade, right? So the weather was just perfect, and you had all these leaves flying up behind everybody, and it was just it was one of those times where you just kind of look around and start smiling because you just feel like you're in a movie. It was,
and even if you had, I feel even if you had a camera to record that, it wouldn't have justified.
No, you couldn't capture
being there, the feeling that you got from it, the feeling from the bike to the wind to the everything.
Yeah,
just being in tune.
We weren't even hitting brakes. We weren't nothing. We were all at the exact same speed. And every time I think about it, it's almost I imagine different shots in my head of a movie.
Yeah, no,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? It was just because we would all bend at the same time. And When we were ripping pretty hard. And some of those, I don't know any of those roads. I don't think any of us did.
Yeah.
I had never been down that road in my life.
And so
I was just trusting the person in front of me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably what I'm most excited about this year.
Yeah. The ride out there.
Just the ride.
Yeah.
Because out there is cool.
Yeah.
It's a venue. Get to see some cool stuff, some cool people, a lot of cool vendors.
Cool. Yeah.
Got to buy some cool stuff and just be around the scene, around the culture. The cool thing is that there's all kinds of different type of people there.
Yeah.
And I'm just my favorite part's that ride.
Yeah,
that's all
the ride, dude.
I'm probably gonna go solo this year.
Yeah.
And just ride out there and just kind of do the stop when I want kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
well, I know Nate's going 100%. So.
Yeah, and he's coming from the south. Right?
Yeah, but y'all, you guys will, probably meet up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's a really fun trip. It's perfect time of the year, dude. The weather's, it can be a little warm, but the weather's really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm excited for you, bro. Yeah. That's gonna be a fun trip, and I'm a big vendor guy. Weirdly enough,
I like to go see all the vendors.
I'm a big vendor guy. If my idea of going to a big event.
Catch Riker chatting with vendors.
Yeah, like Daytona or Sturgis or Arizona Bike Week. My idea is spending half the time in the vendors, dude.
Yeah,
I just love buying shit for my bike or just looking at all the shiny stuff to put on my bike. I don't know, I love it. And Born Free was really cool because I felt they had kind of artsy vendors a little bit. You had handmade stuff and you had motorcycle stuff for sure, but it was a really cool mix of both. It didn't feel too
different jewelry.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't like too corporate-y where it's like all just corporate
Parts,
sponsors and parts and stuff, which is really cool. You had like t-shirt, bandana vendors, like
I like the local. A lot of vendors were local, and I mean we've met a couple from there and bought parts off of them, and went down to the where are they at in Capel? Or
they're down in like Bedford, Direct Cycle Parts. Built my entire stereo system from those guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So shout out to them. Probably not watching this, but y'all are cool dudes. And if you guys need parts, Direct Cycle Parts here in DFW.
Yeah, good guy.
I think they specialize in like performance parts though, like
mostly
bag or
performance
diner.
baggers,
But they also sell audio and stuff too. But well, cool, man. What that is end of October. Are you just gonna pack everything on your bike and
roll out?
Yeah. Think you're gonna tent camp or what?
No, I got a hotel.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah. Same hotel?
Yeah.
No shit. Yeah.
Little sketch, but yeah.
Last time we were there, someone did die in the hotel room. A few doors down from us. Someone died. Yes.
Not motorcycle related.
No.
Not. I think he was like an old man.
Yeah. It wasn't a gunshot. It wasn't anything crazy. But someone did pass away.
Yeah. It was that was such a fun time, dude. Because like it was like one of those sketchy motels where you pull up to the front door of your hotel room. And so like at night we were chilling on the bikes, like outside the hotel room, like, just BSing, smoking cigars. Some of the guys don't drink, but those who did were having some beers or whatever. And it was fun, man. It was definitely a memorable trip for all of us. And
I'm glad we did that.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did that for sure.
That was good stuff, man.
Yeah. So we'll need a plan for next year, I think. Maybe a little further in advance, and Aaron needs 100% to have a bike by then.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. So, I even thought about this year, like putting my bike in my truck and coming down with Aaron.
Yeah,
just right on the back.
And
Just
but then, dude, like,
could you imagine?
Then I'm out riding the bike around and he's falling around in the truck, which I guess is fine, but it's just more fun when you go down on the bike.
Yeah,
so
it's.
But yeah, that's I'm excited for you, man. That's gonna be a good trip.
I can't wait.
Cool. Nice. Well, I think we're probably at about an hour on this thing, man. Perfect. So we'll stop it here. Thank you, brother, for being on the podcast.
Yeah, bro, I appreciate
awesome,
you.
Man.
Appreciate you coming out.
It was fun. This is Garage Talk, Beards and Gears. Aaron, you got anything to say?
That's it. Let's get it.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Later.